Yes, yes. Welcome to the ancient world of tabletop games. I am Agamemnon from the historical documentary Time Bandits. This is a report from a fugitive. This is the video production studio and not the new painting studio. Why bring the paint studio to the video table? I'm having a clear out of the other room and I'm rearranging a few electrical items. That means shifting everything, including the painting table that was only recently put in place. I'm not shifting the table far. It comes out a bit and then goes back in. Restructuring. There's no other reason to bring the Hobbyzone modules here. The video table is acting as temporary storage for all the painting gear. Might as well get a video out of this. The first thing to heave out of the way is the size of this table. It's a foot shorter than the one that holds the entire paint workshop. For that reason, I can't assemble the whole thing, but you'll get the general idea. The workshop is more or less in 3 layers, with the addition of an occasional 4th layer in accordance with the laws as set down in 1 or 2 boroughs of New York. Something skyscraper limitations on paint workshops, something dark side. And that is a figure painting fact. There are cameras and a microphone in the way in this compact, busy space. Here's the idea of a modular system. Mix and match these units until you've created a workshop that suits your needs at the time. You'll find it easy enough to change the workshop around if those painting needs change, given that the modules are held together by magnets. The only hard and fast construction rule is that the top layer is given over to paint storage. I find I'm constantly changing what goes where as more pieces of equipment come in. Generally, it's a good idea to have a few hutches, the wide open spaces that'll hold large, awkward items. That mallet being a good example of a tool that won't go anywhere else. The corner drawer module is the one that I assembled outside in, but a cautious stint with a drill fixed the problem. There isn't a corner hutch unit. I suppose you could take that shelf out and make the corner more spacious, but I preferred the idea of structural integrity and left the shelf in position. Those ancient Revel paint cube pots sit on a unit designed to hold ungainly bottles free-form. The army painter bottles are aptly regimented. Those units come in different bottle width sizes, so measure twice based on paint brand and buy once with confidence. Those paint racks take a 26mm wide bottle. Seen from the side, the corner arrangement goes from the very back of the studio to the edge of the table with no overhang at the front. We're talking 75cm or just shy of 30 inches. Corner unit, standard module, triangular drawer set as an end cap. Coming around the corner into the main stretch, I opted for 3 levels almost all the way along. I made sure I had several hutches and plenty of drawers of assorted sizes. Putting the windows inside those drawers was one of the trickiest parts of the construction process. The main task was to assemble modules without smearing glue on the acrylic windows. Surprising myself, I made it through the whole fiddly business. Didn't crack a window, and didn't fog any windows up with glue. I bought the largest army painter set out there for the cheapest price. These very large boxes hold 124 paints and come with a few brushes as well. What should you be paying for a massive box like that? Certainly not £400 and not £300. As this video goes out, you should still find boxes out there for 190 odd. Yes, a statement like that is meaningless on a YouTube video that is out there for all to see until the crack of doom itself. But at least you have that sense of what type of material was available for how much back in 1914. All videos are historical documents, though they are, almost by default, historical documents that rarely include the cost of postage and packing. In short, look for bargains. I didn't fill the whole paint workstation. I left space for empty bottles that I bought in later. Empty bottles are handy for water or other liquids that aren't paint, but they are handiest of all for Frankensteinian experiments in which you mix new colours or thin out paints for use as washes. And I pretty much filled the empty spaces with empty bottles, 15ml size, though in reality they hold a shade more than 15ml. The 4th layer is lightweight. It has to be. The gadget is simple. A board for holding construction diagrams that are held in place by magnets. Surround your workspace with space-saving items. Keep paper clutter off your main work surface. Let's apply that to clutter generally. I've employed drawers to declutter the place and hold all the unassembled projects as neatly as can be. The drawer windows are meant to taunt you with unfinished projects that are sitting right in front of you at the workstation. The whole point of the workstation is to shove things out of the way and leave room on the table for a cutting mat and a separate paint station. and I have plenty of room for this arrangement. Those are ink bottles rather than paints. I'm experimenting with dropping a veil of ink over see-through figures to generate watery effects for water elementals and so on. This is a hobby packed with tools and gadgets, purpose-built and improvised. If you feel you need a workstation to store your other workstation at, then you are sadly on the right lines. Welcome to the club. Looking at these images, the thing that strikes me is the changeable nature of it. If I have to rearrange the layout, I can. Some projects are small and detailed. Others, given the sheer size of the figures involved, are going to call for different tools, preparation methods, and painting styles. I can't help you with aerosol cans or airbrushes. This operation is strictly brush-powered. Now the shorter table is a little more crowded. Best thing to do is double back on available space and carry on with the rest of the display. The brush stand holds many a dead brown Humbrol brush. I prefer the system of numbered sizes in Humbrol's selection over the named sizes you'll find elsewhere. The subatomic detail brush sounds overly dramatic. You may find a number 00 brush decidedly under-dramatic, and that's your business if you do. That's true of paints too. Give me a paint that tells me it is red and not rusty pixie dust. Now we come to another section that is 4 levels high and not 3. Almost all of the Hobbyzone modules are 30 centimeters long, and this makes planning a layout very easy. However, a few of those modules are 20 centimeters across, and you're seeing the main ones here. We're talking about narrower drawer sets and a smaller freeform bottle holder. I could have skipped this narrower column and added a standard 30 centimeter wide arrangement instead, and the whole thing would have just made it onto a 6-foot table, but these were the pieces I wanted. The narrower items were just about the last I assembled, and 2 of the side magnets were loose in their slots. I used epoxy to fix them in place, and they've been fine ever since. Bringing the other corner unit into view, I'm reminded that I only had one gruesome lapse in concentration when assembling those pieces. No drilling and fixing here. There at the side are the magnets. I have spares, as I didn't place magnets in the bottom of the lowest layer. If I want to rearrange that low level, I'd go back in and upgrade. It takes pressure from a flat surface to force a magnet into position, no hammering required. The sprue holder is holding a single sprue, various tools, pallets, and pieces of paper along with chunks of cardboard. As I didn't glue all the wooden spars in place, I added an Allen key to the tool set. It can't be pushed further in. I use the Allen key to retrieve other tools that are pushed further in and are tricky to reach. It's far easier to use that key and retrieve a craft knife without disturbing the unglued spars. I still don't feel a need to glue those pieces in place. Modularity and versatility are important in a painting workshop. Reduce clutter, reduce fiddliness, and keep life-threatening injuries to a minimum. By this stage, purely for video production purposes, the table itself grew so cluttered that there was no way to keep the camera arm out of shot without knocking dozens of paint bottles over into the shadows under the video table. I've left the kitchen roll holder until last, even though I built it way at the start of this whole project. The dispenser was indispensable. No matter how well you run your table, liquid will run, and you'll need a dispenser. I went for the upright one. That choice was near the end of the planning stage, and there's the paint workstation crammed onto the video production table. After I made this video, I finished tidying the painting room and restocked the paint table there. My first test was to prepare a few figures for painting. I even painted one, messed it up, fixed it, and painted it properly. So the system works despite my 10-thumbed presence.